Oh, oh. Happy Halloween. It's everyone's favorite month with everyone's favorite holiday. And so I thought to celebrate, we would sit down, watch a scary animation, and just have a good time. So thank you for joining me, whoever is joining me. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So today's comes from Broccoli Animations. It is 2 Truth or Dare horror stories animated. Let's see where this goes. Oh my god, sorry.
It was raining when I got to my boyfriend's apartment. My boyfriend Fred hugged me and removed my jacket before leading me to the living room.
Nice, sounds
There
like
were
a nice
two other
boyfriend.
people there, a guy and a girl. They're my friends. That's Natasha and that's Dan. The girl and
Hi,
the
Natasha.
guy
Hi,
waved at
Dan.
me and I smiled back. Fred explained that the rain stopped them from leaving. They were his course mates and had come for a study session.
What, they don't have
Fred and
vehicles?
I had been dating for about 3
Oh my
months
god,
now.
that background.
Fred
I
was
love it.
popular in college due to his involvement in sports, and it was a good thing for my reputation to be his girlfriend. He was known for his...
Wait, what? That's your reason for being in the relationship? He's good at sports, and it's good for your reputation? Man, if that's why you get into a relationship, that's bound to fail.
his temper, but I was yet to witness it. I was sure he loved me. That was why he didn't get angry. He was a big person and
okay, fair
easily
enough.
towered over most people. His size intimidated most people, but I didn't really care about it.
Yeah, we get it.
Fred and
Fred's
I
big.
sat on the couch and he asked me
Fucking
how my day
flexing.
went. After I told him I was just at home all day, I glanced at Natasha and Dan and saw that they were busy scrolling through their phones. I frowned. I didn't want to be the reason they stopped talking to Fred. I whispered to Fred that it was rude of us to exclude them from the discussion and we had to find a way to involve them. Fred looked at me with amusement
so
and
nice
said
of her.
that we should play a game together. "Let's play Truth or Dare," he said. I rolled my eyes.
Oh my god. This only goes one way. I'm trying to figure out a way how to word this, but unless this is a polyamorous situation, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
It was such an immature game. I agreed, and it was obvious that Natasha and Dan were too bored to say no. "We should establish rules first," said Natasha. "Well, just the basic ones. There must be no lying whatsoever of any kind. If you're unable to do the dare or answer the question, then you take a shot." Fred looked at the rest of us and asked if we were in. We gave him nods of affirmation.
Nods of
I eyed the
affirmation.
alcohol and shook my head. I had no intention of getting drunk, so it meant I had to do all my dares and answer every question honestly. We sat in a circle.
Wait, how would they know if you're lying, though? I mean, yeah, it's against the rules, but if you didn't want to get drunk, just answer truth every time, and then... I mean, maybe if your boyfriend Fred would know, but you literally just met these... amateurs!
And decided to take
amateurs at
turns.
this game.
Fred went first, and he dared Natasha to drink water upside down. It was funny because she choked on the water, spewing it everywhere.
What? That
Dan
can't be that hard. That's how she drank it?
because she choked on the water,
That-
spewing it everywhere.
Okay. Where's my... I'll be right back. I got the water. So wait, she like... Let's move this goddamn chair. She like using lip straws? You know what I mean? Like lip straws? Oh, that's easy. Where she like... Man, everyone here's an amateur. This girl doesn't know how to lie when telling the truth. This girl can't drink water upside down.
Dan dared Fred to prance around in his underwear, and Fred wasted no time in downing a shot of vodka, muttering that there was no way he would destroy his image.
Oh, he's gonna get
After
wasted.
a few rounds where I kept choosing truth and Fred kept declining his dares, meaning he was already drunk, I decided to choose dare. Truth or dare,
Why?
Ashley?
Just keep going truth.
Natasha asked me. I chose dare and braced myself. Natasha dared me to kiss Dan. I stilled and glanced at Fred. His
Fred, the guy who was just down in 800 shots of Jack Daniels right there. Gentleman Jack.
eyes gave nothing away, and I walked over to Dan
That's a bad
and kissed
idea.
him. I went back to
Okay.
sit down and felt proud of myself.
Oh.
I hadn't even balked. What did you just do?
What did I say earlier about the polyamorous thing? Never play this game.
Fred asked. I laughed, asking if he was jealous. I was teasing him, and the others laughed too. Fred scowled and turned to me.
Oh, God, look at
He
this.
slapped me across the face.
Jesus, Fred! Hitting a woman? Not in my house! Oh, God. Where were we?
The laughter died. He
Yeah, I
dragged
imagine.
me by my hair, and I got terrified. I kept screaming at him that it was just a dare and that it meant nothing.
Jesus, Fred,
But he
maybe
was too far gone to hear me.
calm down.
Dan
a lot.
approached him and told him to let go and that it meant nothing, but Fred didn't listen. Dan
What?
and Natasha were staring at me with wide eyes as Fred started to drag me to his bedroom. I struggled against his
Yeah,
hold,
what the
but
hell?
my efforts were futile. Dan came to us and laid a hand
That shit really hurts, though. You ever been dragged by your hair on carpet? Not like I ever have. But that, yeah, if I ever have been, I would know that hurts.
on Fred's shoulder. Fred punched him square in the mouth. Natasha screamed as Dan
Oh,
cursed
God, Fred's
loudly.
lost it.
Fred dropped my legs and moved to Dan. I scrambled to my feet as I watched Fred punch Dan again.
Jesus, Fred.
Natasha brought out her phone and it got knocked from her hands. Fred had smacked
He's
her
on a
hands.
rampage. Someone stop
Natasha
this man.
cried out in pain and glared at Fred. That glare earned her a slap.
That glare earned her a slap. I'm sorry, the situation's not funny. That's not what I think is funny. I'm just picturing a specific video in my head that I saw a while ago. I'll put it on the screen right now.
Sir, I'm arrested.
All right, enough of that nonsense.
Fred, stop! I said, tears in my eyes. He was shaking with anger now, and he just stared at me for a while before marching to the kitchen. Natasha knelt down beside Dan and asked him if he was fine. Dan spat out blood and struggled to his feet. He told Tasha that they had to leave because he had never seen that side of Fred. Just then, Fred came in with a knife in his
he's just-
hands.
Sitting out there just laying down haymakers left and right. It's time to go.
Headed straight for me, knife raised over his head.
He's got a knife now.
I ran. I didn't know why, but it seemed like the
The
most
way he
logical
ran.
choice at the time. I ran out of his house, bare feet hitting the pavement as I used all my energy to try to escape. It was still raining, and it became hard for me to see, but I didn't care. Especially as I looked back and saw Fred still holding
Oh
the
my
knife.
God, he's gaining.
chasing
Run!
me. The
You're like-
distance between us was getting smaller.
Richard Simmons
My mind
walking.
raced. I didn't want to die. I started to regret ever getting together with Fred. I had no idea he was someone capable of what he
Man, this is why you gotta carry a gun or something. There you do. That's a situation right there. Alright, I'm gonna show you what to do. You're running? You're running? Bang. I'm here, Fred. Oh. That's what you do. Oh. Oh. Anyway, what was that? What was that? Oh yeah. Reviewing the video. Alright. Pretty intense scene. He's gaining on her and everything.
He was doing right now. I comforted myself with the fact that at least Dan and Natasha would have escaped. Fred hit
That's
me
a
from
dark
behind, and we both fell to the ground, rolling over before we came to a stop. He brought the knife down, and my hand shot up by reflex, and I held his hand. The knife was dangerously close to my face, and I started to beg him. He was definitely stronger than I was, and the knife was already inching down to my face. It was the alcohol in his system that even gave me a chance. I closed my eyes as my grip weakened. I waited for the pain I knew was coming and was surprised when Fred's weight on me disappeared. I opened my eyes and sat up. He was sitting beside me in the rain, and he had dropped the knife. "Go," he said. "Get out." He looked at me, his
Fred. Finding his source of morality. After the rogue kiss and a truth or dare game. You love to see it.
face contorted in anguish. I didn't have to be told twice. I quickly grabbed my things and was relieved that Dan and Natasha were gone. I walked in the rain for a while before I got a cab that took me back home. I told no one what happened, and a part of me wondered if I was being a coward by not reporting him. What if another girl
Yeah.
was at the receiving end of what
Probably.
I suffered? Still, I would bump into him on campus grounds and avert my eyes. We suddenly had an unspoken rule not to talk to each other. Maybe I was a coward for keeping my mouth shut. That thought still didn't propel me to do anything. I was only glad I was safe.
I mean, technically, yeah. But, okay, what did we learn from that story? 1, don't play truth or dare. 2, don't date people named Fred. Moving on.
Did you enjoy the first story? If you did, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. Oh, if you want your broccoli to be served fresh, then don't forget to hit the bell icon. Keep munching.
It's kind of a weird thing to say.
This is a story about what happened to me when I was in high school. I was a popular girl and everyone loved me. I don't want to brag or anything,
Yeah.
but I'm just stating facts.
You're kind of
I
flexing
was in a
on me.
group with 2 other girls, and we would hang out all the time, at school or after school. Think of us as the girls in that movie Mean Girls. Yeah, we were pretty bitchy at the time, but we were young and we didn't know any better. Me and my friends would have this tradition.
Wait, what is that group called? The Clique from Mean Girls. What's it called? The Plastics? Is that it? Is it the Plastics? Yeah, when I'm editing this, Todd, when you're editing this, look it up. Is it the Plastics? I'll even write Plastics, like right on my face. Right here. Right, plastic. Write plastic right here. If it is plastic. If it's something else, write the right thing.
A monthly sleepover at my friend Diana's house. Her parents would be away at the end of the month, every month, for business, and we had the entire place to ourselves. Each time, we would drink wine, even though we were still in high school, grabbing a bottle or two
We've
out of
all
her
been
mom's
there.
cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah.
She never noticed because she had so many bottles. We would gossip, talk about boys, watch movies, typical teenage girl stuff. But one month, our friend Alexa couldn't make it. She was sick. I think she caught a cold or something. She didn't even come to school for an entire week. So it was just me and Diana. But that would have been boring. So, shall I still come to your place for the sleepover? I asked Diana. I don't know. It'll be just the two of us.
Wait a minute. Did he model these girls after the girls in Mean Girls? That would be Regina George, Gretchen Wieters, and Lindsay Lohan. Not important.
It won't be so much fun without Alexa, Diana responded. Yeah, I told her while I was putting a book in my school bag. And in that exact moment, we turned around and bumped into one of our peers. She was considered a loser back then.
That's
She didn't
not very
have
nice.
any friends, but she would constantly come on over to talk to us. It was clear that she wanted to be part of our group. When we saw her, an idea popped up. We both looked at each other and then looked at Sandra, smiling. What's up, guys? Crazy biology lesson, huh? Mrs. Franklin is such a bitch, Sandra said.
Okay, that button-down shirt with that vest on top, that tank top, that kind of makes you look like a Costco employee, but
But we didn't actually respond to her question. We were thinking
that why
that it
she's
would be
nerdy?
so fun to bring her to the sleepover
Is
to
that the
make
only
fun
reason?
of her. Again, we were in high school. I'm not proud of the mentality I had back then,
yeah,
but
bullies
I
are the
want to
worst.
tell you what really happened.
Kiss
Hey
my butt
Sandra,
cheeks.
what are you doing tonight? I asked her. Nothing. Why? She responded while her eyes were as big as the moon. It was obvious that she couldn't wait to be asked to hang out with us. So I told her about our sleepover and invited her. Then, out of the blue, she started jumping around saying, "Yes, yes, yes," multiple times. We looked at her with pity, but we
That's how
knew
she
that we were
responded.
going to have a lot of fun.
Literally?
So it was settled.
You just
We
jumping
gave
up
her
and
the
down,
address
screaming
and
yes.
told her to come at 7 p.m. sharp to Diana's house. Fast forward, and there I was, sipping a glass of red wine while Diana was fixing her makeup. It was pretty boring, but as soon as the doorbell rang, we knew the fun was about to start. Hey, come on in, Diana told her and grabbed her hand, pulling her inside. She poured the poor girl a glass of wine and she refused. Well, she did it first, but not long after, she couldn't handle the peer pressure. We
Lindsay
started
Lohan,
playing
stop
Truth or
peer
Dare,
pressuring
and
the
it was
girl.
innocent at first.
And
We
underage
asked questions
drinking.
about boys, who's your crush, and stuff like that. But as time went on, Diana got bored and started to ask Sandra more personal questions. Everyone knew that her dad cheated on her mom multiple times, and Diana asked her about that. Sandra didn't want to respond,
Yeah, it's
being
pretty,
visibly uncomfortable.
Inappropriate question to ask
Oh,
someone.
you want to keep things private, huh? Diana told her.
Probably, yeah, she probably
Then
does.
Diana got up and pushed Sandra in the corner. I know you want to be in this group, but there's only one way you can do it. I dare you to go to Miss Franklin's house and scare her. Climb up the window and scare her in bed. Mrs. Franklin was always rude to us.
Scare her? Because that sounds like breaking and entering. Oh, Miss Franklin's in for the fright of her life.
Sandra finally
Sandra
accepted,
B&Es her
due to
ass.
the wine, I guess, and we went to the teacher's house. We gave her a mask and we waited outside the window while
Give her
Sandra
some
got in.
Phantom of the Opera looking
Yeah,
shit
just
right
house.
there. That's all she
We
has?
gave her a mask and we waited outside the window while Sandra got in.
Sandra, is
We
that you in your
immediately heard
Costco outfit
someone
and
screaming.
Phantom of the Opera
I
cosplay?
hope Mrs. Franklin learns her lesson and stops being a bitch, Diana told me. But things took an ugly turn. We heard a commotion. It was like the two started fighting. We heard a lamp being knocked down on the floor and breaking. We didn't know what to do. We kind of got scared ourselves.
It's probably Sandra breaking her
Then
legs.
something
climbing through
happened
the
that
window.
made us run for our lives. The sound of a gunshot was heard. I
What
looked
the
into
hell?
Diana's eyes and we made a run for it, straight to her house. I never
Look at your Attack on Titan ass run. Look at this.
scared ourselves. Then something happened that made us run for our lives. The sound of a gunshot was heard. I looked into Diana's eyes and we made a run for it, straight to her house. I never ran so fast in my entire life. We got there in less than 5 minutes. We locked the door and waited without saying one word. We didn't know what to do or what had happened. After about half an hour, we heard the doorbell. Diana slowly went to the door and looked out the window. It was Sandra. She immediately opened the door and the poor girl started crying.
Jesus,
Her
hell.
hands were covered in blood and
Look
it was
at
dripping
that.
on Diana's
Her forearm is like cut to the bone.
welcome mat. "What happened to you? Come on in," I told her. Sandra wiped away her tears and started to
Sandra's
tell us
about
the
to bleed
story.
out in your living room.
Mrs. Franklin had a gun under her pillow. When she saw me, she immediately took it out and shot at me, but she missed. I got scared and tried to jump out of the window, but she grabbed my leg, saying that I won't get away.
God damn,
She
Miss
pulled me
Franklin, calm
back in
down.
and we started fighting. In the tussle, I guess I grabbed her gun, but she was still holding it. She pulled the trigger and shot herself in the stomach.
First of all, she pulled the trigger and shot herself in the stomach. Now, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but... Come on. You know what this reminds me of? I hate to keep making references, but it reminds me of that episode of Degrassi, The Next Generation, when Sean and Rick. Yeah, that Sean and Rick are struggling over that gun. That has nothing to do with the story. I just felt like saying that.
I tried to stop the blood with my hands, but I couldn't, so I just ran away. Sandra told us. We promised to keep her secret and not let anyone find out about this. After that incident, we started to see Sandra less and less at school. One day, I saw her talking to herself in the hallway. I put my hand on her shoulder, trying to say hey, but she didn't even acknowledge me. She was just looking at a fixed point at the wall and whispering something. Later, I told Diana
She's
about
got the
this, and we
PTSDs.
assumed that the whole Franklin incident made her go insane. A few months later, her family, along with her, moved away, and we haven't heard anything from Sandra ever since.
Well, what did we learn from that story? Don't break into Mrs. Franklin's house and shoot her in the face. Oh, that's about it for the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.